نحاول نصحصح الناس يعني trying to get everybody to wake up. يهل شهر الصيام. The month of fasting is coming. And نتكلم إن شاء الله في هذه الليلة بعد الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسوله وآله وصحبه ومن والاه واهتدى بهداه عن الصيام وأحكامه وآدابه وفضائله وما يتعلق به. We talk إن شاء الله in this short session about fasting and the different things that have to do with fasting as far as the rules, the etiquettes, the manners, and what we should know about that inshallah. I may ask my brothers to come close inshallah. Whoever feels comfortable to recline, we have one space here, one here, 5 here. So come closer inshallah and some more in here. تتنزل علينا الرحمة إن شاء الله. تقاربوا بإذن الله تبارك وتعالى. أولا الصيام عرفته العرب قبل الإسلام. This word linguistically Arabs knew even before Islam. It has certain meaning. مش عايزينك تدوز الادفانتج يا شيخ الرجل الطيب. So it used to mean something for the Arabs, and the meaning for fasting in the very Arabic, the very linguistic meaning is what أصل الصيام الإمساك والامتناع. It is to abstain, to stop doing something, to refrain from doing something. قالت إني نذرت للرحمن صوما. This is السيدة مريم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said فكلي واشربي وقري عينا فإما ترين من البشر أحدا فقولي إني نذرت للرحمن صوما. يعني بتاكل وتشرب. Eat and drink and be happy, and then when you see somebody say I vow to fast for Ar-Rahman, the Beneficent, I am not going to talk to anybody. So she referred the word fasting to not talk. فالصيام في أصله الإمساك عن الفعل، عن أي فعل. وبعد الإسلام له معنى شرعي معروف محدد. ما هو الصيام بالمعنى الشرعي؟ The Islamic meaning of fasting. What is it? التعريف يكون جامعا ومانعا. جامع يجمع كل ما يطلق عليه الصيام. Everything that has to refer to fasting is in there. ويخرج منه ما ليس فيه. And it takes out anything that does not belong to Siyam. So what is it in Islam? Fasting is الإمساك is to abstain from what? عن ماذا? Abstain from what? Abstain from what in Ramadan? We are going to practice fasting. So we should know what it is. Abstain from what? Abstain from drinking. Any kind of food. What else? Let's make it interactive. الطعام والشراب, food and drink. النكاح أو الجماع. بس يعني مثلا امساك عن ايه مثلا؟ اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. المغذيات، باقي المغذيات او ما يدخل في حكمها. المفطرات بشكل عام. So we say abstaining from مفطرات. What's مفطرات? Anything to break fasting. A list is long and we're going to go through it. We're going to go through the list. So abstaining from the things to break fasting. المفطرات. And we are going to talk about this. Just abstaining from that. From طلوع الفجر, from the dawn time, al-fajr, up to sunset. Up to sunset. Yani we're talking about very basic things. I have seen some people who thought that fasting is from sunrise. I've seen some people, seen them with my eyes, eating while Adhan al-Fajr is there. In the masjid, the mu'adhin is saying, Allahu Akbar, Allah, up to the middle, he is finishing the Adhan, people still, I'm going to finish my tea. That's from Adhan al-Fajr, which is the time of Fajr. When the mu'adhin says, Allahu Akbar, you have to stop. You have to. From طلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس. Is that it? Abstaining from food, drinking, from طلوع الشمس, from طلوع الفجر, the dawn up to sunset. With the intention to do that for Allah. Somebody happened to be, just imagine somebody who did not eat, did not drink all that time, but he didn't set any intention. That doesn't count as fasting, so the intention should be there. وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Actions are going to be judged according to the intention. We said that أحكام الصيام فرضت بالتدريج. It came gradually. Islam came for Ummah not as one piece. خلاص, that's it. Like a Torah. That's how a Torah came to Sayyidina Musa. He came, met with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قابل الله تبارك وتعالى وأعطاه ألقى إليه الألواح. Allah gave him the Torah written, everything. No. Islam came gradually. في السنة الأولى فرضت كذا وكذا، في السنة الثانية فرض الصيام وكذا، وحولت القبلة في السنة. In the first year some أحكام, the second year some other أحكام came. الصيام فرض في أي سنة؟ came in what year? Year 2 after Hijrah. كم رمضان صامه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم؟ How many Ramadan did the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم fast? Question. احنا عايزين الناس بقى ندي فرصة للناس اللي هم مش علماء يعني بيحاولوا طلاب العلم. So النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم fasted for how many Ramadans? 9. 8 or 9. يعني عندنا من أول السنة الثانية، ومات توفي صلى الله عليه وسلم في أول السنة 11 في ربيع الأول. So he fasted second year after Hijrah. year 2 السنة الثانية صامها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. الثالثة third year، الرابعة، الخامسة، السادسة، السابعة، الثامنة، التاسعة، والعاشرة. 9 رمضانات، وتوفي في قبل رمضان في سنة 11 عليه الصلاة والسلام. So it came to Muslims in year 2 after Hijrah. What made it obligatory? What came to make it obligatory? Where in the Quran? يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام. فرض الصيام بهذه الآية. الصيام is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for the people before you. So other nations before Muslims, they knew fasting, but it was not in this way from Fajr to Maghrib. We don't eat. No, they have different ways of it, but it's known. Fasting is known. Not in the similar way, but it was known to nations before us. It came to Muslims. The way it came at Siyam, again, it did not come all like we have it nowadays. It comes in the beginning. It was optional. The first ayah of it. فَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ خَيْرًا فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَهُ وَأَنْ تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Whoever voluntarily choose to fast, it's good for him. But if you choose, you may pay the fidya. That was in the beginning. فكان من صام يعني من أراد أن يصوم صام، ومن أفطر أفدى أو أخرج الفدية. So and then the next ayah came shortly after that. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصومه. Then the next ayah came. Whoever witnesses the month, he should fast in it. Then comes the excuses. فنزل فرض بهذه الآية، وكذلك بحديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بني الإسلام على 5، وذكر منها عليه الصلاة والسلام صوم رمضان. Islam is built on 5 pillars, and he mentioned صلى الله عليه وسلم حديث ابن عمر, and he mentioned in this hadith that fasting the month of Ramadan is the obligatory. من ترك, is it optional? Who wants to fast, you may fast, you may not fast. من ترك صيام رمضان منكرا له خرج من الإسلام. If somebody says, I don't believe I have to fast Ramadan, no, that person is out of Islam. We have the Nation of Islam. You hear about them, right? Big Luis Farrakhan and his group, and they fast. You know what month do they fast? December. They fast in December regardless, just the month of December. Now, shortest month and cold. But they call themselves Islam, and they have names of Muhammad and this and that. لكن يعني Allah says شهر رمضان, they said شهر December. يعني this is something not right. ولكن طبعا من تركه, it's different from somebody who does not fast, not because he said yeah it's there obligatory and everything, but whatever. This is كبيرة من الكبائر. If somebody does not fast, it's one of the major sins, as long as he does not reject it. If he rejects it as part of Islam, this is a different story, as we explained. ومن حكم الصيام وأسراره وفوائده الكثير. If we talk about the wisdom behind it, the secrets of it, the benefits of it, why it's there, a lot of it. Number one حكمة, الحكمة الأولى منه وأول شيء فيه أنه عبادة لله سبحانه وتعالى. We do it as عبادة, purely as عبادة لله سبحانه وتعالى. Whether we know all the benefits of it or not know the benefits of it, we do it as عبادة لله سبحانه وتعالى. Muslim لله سبحانه وتعالى, مسلم له, we submit to Allah. Then we can talk about that. We can talk about tens of things. فمنها أنه يوقظ قلب المؤمن. It wakes the heart of the believer. When you come back to Allah, all the prayers, mashallah, and siyam and fasting and all of these things, it really helps to revive our heart. إنسان في رمضان يعني يأتيه من الذكر ويحضره من الذكر ما لا يحضره في غيره. You make dua in Ramadan much more than you do in any other time. So close to Allah, much more than you are in any other time. كما أن الله سبحانه وتعالى يعني خلقنا وعلم طبيعتنا، الإنسان له إقبال وله إدبار. فلو أن يعني الله سبحانه وتعالى يجعل موسما للطاعة، موسم الحج، رمضان، seasons. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that sometimes we are up, sometimes we are down, energetic, lethargic. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might give us, He chose to make, certain seasons that you go to the peak, go to the top, do your best right now. Month of Ramadan, days of Hajj, one day of Ashura, one day of Arafat, here and there. So month of Ramadan is meant that the person will fill it with ta'at lillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and stay away a little bit from the regular routine of eating and being full all the time and what comes with that. One of the most important things as we are thinking of Ramadan, الوحدة، وحدة المسلمين. بغض النظر عن اختلاف بدء رمضان ونهايات دخوله وخروجه يوم 2 3 أحيانا. We're not talking about this, regardless of the beginning of it, difference 1 day, 2 days, but the entire Muslim Ummah, المسلمون في الهند والسند والشرق والغرب وأمريكا ومن أيسلندا وروسيا شمالا إلى أستراليا وأقاصي الأرجنتين جنوبا، كلهم, all Muslims everywhere in the different corners of the world, they fast. They fast. Maghrib. You know now that people in Japan, mashallah, do the same thing. They pray Taraweeh right now. Subhanallah. So it's wahdatul Muslim. Even though they have different languages and different views and different places, all of them do the same thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us this unity through action. Unity of Muslims in action. And you can talk about so many other benefits, health-wise, feeling the need of the poor and all of that. Very quickly jumping to ثبوت شهر Ramadan. A very controversial issue. كيف يثبت؟ بما يثبت الشهر؟ شيء من اثنين. It's either one of two things. Simple, as the Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم said in the hadith. أحد أمرين. الأمر الأول ليلة الرؤية, the night of sighting the moon. What night is that? 29 إيه؟ شعبان. تمام. The 29th of شعبان. 29th of شعبان الليلة التي بعدها بآخره. The 29th of شعبان, Muslims go out to sight the moon. ليلة 30. Usually nowadays we say 29th night. But in Islam, this night is the 30th night, which is the night before it. The night in Islam comes before the day. The night regularly in our times, it comes after the day. So the day after the day of the 29th of Sha'ban, this night after sunset, Muslims go to watch the moon. If they sight the moon, the new crescent, sky is clear, they sight it. What does this mean? Means that Sha'ban this year is 29 days. And next day is the first day of Ramadan. So Sha'ban is 29 days and next day is Ramadan. This is one possibility. The first, الاحتمال الأول. رأوا الهلال ليلة 30 إذن يكون رمضان من غده. فإذا لم يرى الهلال, if it's clear, they do not see it. Or it's overcast. فإذا لم رأوا الهلال ولم يروه مع صفاء السماء وخلوها أو كانت السماء يعني غم عليه. In both of these cases, what should Muslims do? They continue Sha'ban. The next day is not going to be Ramadan, it's going to be the 30th of Sha'ban. So if they go and it's clear, we don't see the moon, or they go and it's overcast, then, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said both of these cases in the hadith, صوموا لرؤيته وأفطروا لرؤيته فإن غم عليكم فأكملوا عدة شعبان 30 يوما. He said Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, fast when you sight it, the moon, the crescent, the new crescent, and break your fasting at the end of the month, the crescent of Shawwal, when you see it again. فإن غم عليكم, if it's overcast, you cannot see it. فأكملوا, continue the number of days of Sha'ban, 30 days. يكفي فيه شاهد واحد. Usually بقية الشهادات معظمها فيها شاهدين. 2 witnesses for majority of the contracts of Islam. But this is enough for this one Muslim witness. شاهد واحد, لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قبل شهادة الواحد. وطبعا تأتي مسألة هل تلزم رؤية البلد الواحد هذا البلد أم جميع بلاد المسلمين. So now sighting, is it just local sighting or global sighting? 2 views of the scholars. We believe nowadays with all of this communication, and it's easy to know what's going on in the east part of the world, west part of the world, So simple and so easy. So we now go by the global sighting. If the moon is sighted anywhere in the world, we accept this sighting, and the policy we adopt in here and many other places. مجمع الفقه الإسلامي الشريعة بأمريكا وغيره تبعون هذه السياسة، إنه ما دامت الرؤية ممكنة, as long as the sighting is possible. If astronomy tells us that it's impossible, it cannot be seen because the moon sets. إذا غرب الهلال قبل الشمس يعني غير موجود في السماء أصلا بلا شك. No doubt, it's not there in the sky. And then all Muslims all over the world came and we saw the moon, or one person. It's impossible. So it should be possible. Then we wait and see somebody, one person at least, who comes and say, I sighted the moon. Why do we wait for this person? Why don't we go by what we know? Simply because the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, صوموا لرؤيتي, fast when you see it. And he said also, لا تصوموا, in an authentic hadith, لا تصوموا حتى تروا الهلال ولا تفطروا حتى تروا. Do not fast until you sight the moon. Do not break your fasting until you sight the moon again. We have the Fiqh Council of ISNA. They have also a valid view. They go by mere astronomy. If the moon is there according to science, we go by it. We don't have to sight it. So this is also, it makes it so easy for Muslims, obviously, because you can tell decades, years ahead when Ramadan is going to begin, just by knowing through calculation that it's there. That's good. That makes it simple for Muslims. I personally believe Muslims, the Muslim community here, either sooner or later they're gonna go by this. But يعني يعكر عليهم الأحاديث الموجودة إنه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول يعني لا تصوموا حتى تروا. فأثبت دخول رمضان بالرؤية وليس بالحصول، ليس بحصول وجود الهلال. Now he's telling us that fasting is when you see it, not when you know it's there. Unlike prayers, على خلاف الصلوات, we don't go out for الصلاة. We know there are signs. الظهر إذا استوى، إذا كان يعني الشمس في وسط السماء، العصر إذا كان ظل كل شيء مثليه بخلاف ظل الزوال، كذا كذا كذا. We don't go by that. Why? Because the Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم did not say in any hadith you have to go and see it. العلم بدخول الوقت. That's all needed, is to know for prayers, is to know that it's time. By watch, by somebody telling you, by anything, fine. But for fasting, we have all of these hadith, which makes it, you know, as well as the legacy of Muslims throughout the years, scholars and Muslims going out and sighting the moon. So those are the things that has to do with ru'ya. Quickly to fasting right now. شروط وجوب الصيام. For fasting to be obligatory on somebody, this person should be Muslim, should be مكلف, بالغ وعاقل. التكليف يعني البلوغ والعقل, which means the person is adult and is in full mental capacity. So a Muslim, it's not obligatory in kafir. وجوب مطالبة في الدنيا. So we tell him, like after he accepts Islam, we tell him, okay, you have to do, like the brother who accepted Islam last week, he has been an adult since maybe 50 years or less or more, whatever. Then we tell him you have to do all of these Ramadans. Do we do that? No. لكن يطالب به في الآخرة إذا مات على كفره بدليل قول الله تبارك وتعالى ما سلككم في سقر قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. هؤلاء المكذبين كفار. They are disbelievers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Muddathir, they will be questioned in the day of judgment. What brought you in here to Saqar, to the Jahim? They said we were not amongst those who pray. So they will be held accountable for missing the prayers, even though they were kuffar in the hereafter. But here in the dunya, if somebody accepts Islam or anything, we don't. That's al-Islam يهدم ما قبله ويجب ما. Everything before is removed. فلوجوب الصوم على الإنسان ينبغي أن يكون مسلما. He should be a Muslim. For fasting to be obligatory, and then he should be مكلف بالغ وعاقل. حديث معروفة في ذلك. Number 3, the person should be الخلو من الأعذار المانعة من الصوم أو المبيحة للفطر. The person should be free from any of the excuses or any of the things to prevent the person from fasting or to give him an excuse to break the fasting. What are some of the not preventive things to prevent the person from fasting? You cannot fast. You should be free from those to be able to fast. ما هي الأعذار المانعة من الصوم؟ متعلقة بالنساء يعني في الغالب. لا يمكن أن يصوم. It's not possible for the person to fast. الحيض والنفاس. If a woman is doing the menses or after birth bleeding, she cannot fast. It's not accepted. Even if she fasted, it's haram to fast. هذا عذر مانع من الصيام. Now, الأعذار المبيحة للفطر. We have excuses to make it legal for the person, optional for the person to break fasting. And we can talk about this, like safar, traveling. You may break your fasting. Like sick, somebody is sick, and then that's another excuse. But what kind of sickness? And what kind of travel? Any travel, any sickness? العلماء يحدون حدودا لذلك يقولون المرض الذي يسبب لصاحبه ضررا شديدا. A disease that causes big harm. Not just like minor flu or something. No, it's causing big harm for the person. أو ألما أو انزعاجا شديدين, or a lot of pain. Somebody got some rashes or something. That's this.
Or old person who want to fast like a half a day.
Not obligatory on them. لكن يقبل. But this is acceptable from them. ويثاب عليه أو يثاب الوالدين عليه. They're gonna get reward for that. So now back to what we're talking about. If somebody is sick, المرض الشديد, like not like very very minor. If it's causing pain, a lot of pain, or causing a lot of something that's not makes fasting hard. أما إن اشتد المرض أو الألم بحيث خشي على عضو من أعضائه أو خشي على نفسه فهذا يمنع من الصيام. But if it's really a severe thing that could cause any damage to any of the organs or could cause death or anything, then it's illegal to fast. You cannot fast. لأن الله سبحانه وتعالى منع الإيه؟ الضرر وكذا وحمى يعني النفس يعني. المجنون لا طبعا رفع القلم عن ثلاثة ومنهم المجنون حتى يفيق. The pen is raised, which means he's not accountable. The insane, the majnun, the person who is not in mental capacity. الجنون يختلف. الجنون في الجنون المطبق. Somebody is not you don't have even some hours that he comes back to normal. But some other people on and off might come on and off. So the person who comes on and off when he is on, obligatory on him. But الجنون المطبق ومنه الإغماء كذلك. If somebody got in coma all day long from before Fajr up until after Maghrib, no fasting for that person. But if he sets the intention before and he got the coma all day long and then he wake up 1 minute or 1 second before Maghrib, it counts for him. That counts. But if he is all day gone, then it does not count. So we talked about al-a'dhar al-mubiha, the excuses to make it optional for you to fast. Sickness causes a lot of harm, a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety or anything. That is an excuse to break your fasting. And then number 2, as-safar, traveling. Not any travel. حدوه بمسافة القصر أغلب العلماء. The fasting, the travel that you go for the distance of 50 miles. To be specific, 48 miles. Nowadays it looks like short, but that's the distance in Islam. If you go any farther than 48 miles and you stay there, then you may break your fasting if you choose. وكذلك العجز عن الصيام فلا يجب الصوم على من لا يطيقه. Somebody is not able, he may fast, but it's kind of makes it really hard for that person, like an old person, somebody who is old, or somebody who is chronically sick. He got like diabetes or something that's continuous with the person, chronic disease. Those people, they may fast, but it makes it really hard. They're gonna miss doses of treatment. من عنده السكري او السكر او عنده بعض الاشياء او يعني طاعن في السن او كذا، هذه تنطبق عليهم كما قال ابن عباس وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين. It causes them a lot of harm. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said يعني قد يطوقونه مع المشقة. Those that fasting is going to be like something around their neck which is hard, makes it hard for them, very hard for them to fast, then they may pay the fidya, as we will talk about it in just a little bit. Same applies to al-mar'ah al-hamil wal-murda. If the woman is pregnant or the woman is breastfeeding and if she is okay, that's fine. But if she thinks it's hard for her or the baby, she can break the fasting, optional for her, and then she has to make up for the missed days. Those were shurut al-wujub, things to make, conditions to make fasting obligatory. أما شروط الصحة, the conditions of to make fasting valid, فهذه الإسلام. Somebody should be Muslim. If somebody who is non-Muslim, sometimes they do it fast-a-thon, for example, in campuses. It's good that they share with us, but if they fast all days, it does not benefit them in any way. A person should be a Muslim for fasting to count for him as a reward for the hereafter. والعقل ويقصد به التمييز. The person should know what he's doing. يعني الصبي الصغير جدا وكذا, هذا يعني حتى الذي لا يطيقه لا يفهم هذا الشيء يعني. The person should know what he's doing. So if يعني a young boy or girls, they know what they are doing, then it's acceptable from them, it's valid from them, ويثاب عليه الوالدان. وكذلك شروط الصحة الخلو من الأعذار المانعة من الصوم. The person should be free from all of these, like menses and after birth bleeding and all of these things. أركان الصيام, very quickly, what are the pillars of fasting? When we talk about أركان, fasting itself, what is it? What do you need for, what is fasting? What is needed for it? The pillars of fasting. It's two things, only two things. If you talk about the pillars of Salah, then you're talking about reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, intention, reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, standing up, then making the ruku'ah, then making the sujood, the session between the sujood. All of these are the pillars of Salah, Salah itself. Now Siyam itself, what is it? Number one that's needed for Siyam, an-niyya, intention. Should make the intention. And number two, the first word, al-imsak, abstaining from food and drink, all of that. So setting the intention for Siyam, pay attention to that. You have to make the niyyah for every single night, for every single day. Niyyah for every single day that you are going to fast tomorrow. One niyyah for the entire month is not valid. Only Imam Malik says it's valid, but then the rest of the scholars said that's not right. قاسها على الحج وقالوا هذا قياس مع الفارق, لأن الحج وحدة واحدة. لو مثلا بطل منه شيء واحد وهو مثلا قيام الوقوف بعرفة, يبطل الحج كله أوله وآخره, وهو شيء واحد, وحدة واحدة. لكن لو أن إنسانا أفسد صوم يوم واحد, ما الذي يبطل؟ رمضان كله يبطل؟ لا, اليوم هذا فقط, فيختلف عن الحج. So every day needs a single intention for itself. When to make the intention? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, when? قبل الفجر. This is the from where to where? From when to when? After Maghrib, which is the beginning of the night, up until Fajr. Any time there, set the intention. How to set the intention? There are some dua in there. Sometimes you receive emails, a few words that you say. Is that necessary? محلها القلب. How to do the niyyah? Is it with the tongue? No, it's with the heart. If you think at any time, if it crosses your mind at any portion of the night, I'm fasting tomorrow, that's niyyah. If you set the alarm to wake up to have suhoor, that's an intention. Even if you didn't wake up to take suhoor, that's an intention. If it crosses your mind in any way in your heart that tomorrow I'm fasting, that's all what's needed. Some people think it's hard. It's not really hard. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من لم يبيت الصيام قبل الفجر فلا صيام له. If somebody does not intend to fast before Fajr, he has no صيام. That's only for Ramadan and the obligatory fasting. لكن في صيام التطوع, if somebody other than Ramadan fasting تطوع extra نافلة, هل يلزمه تبييت النية من الليل؟ لا, لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في بعض الأحيان كان يصبح هل عندكم من طعام؟ لا, فإني صائم. Sometimes النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم would wake up, he would ask, do you have food? No food. He said, okay, I'm fasting. That's in the beginning of the day. No breakfast, he is fasting. Not in Ramadan, outside Ramadan. But in Ramadan, you have to. Number 2 of the pillars, we said it is. What is number 2? What is pillar number 2, Brother Jalal? I just said it. We said it before. Pay attention, Ya Sheikh. What is pillar number 2, Ya Ghayb? Al-imsak. Ahsan. To abstain. Abstaining from what? Now we talk about the list. In top of the list comes, we have to abstain from food and drink. We have to abstain from food and drink. Al-imsaku an al-ta'am. Abstaining from food and drink. Is that complete? What's missing? يعني أنا أعرف إنسانا يأكل ويشرب وصومه صحيح. I know somebody could be eating and drinking and his fasting is okay. He's still fasting. ملفن أكيد هياكل ملفن. That's the word in here. If somebody forgets while fasting, he forgets and eats and drinks. حديث من نسي وهو صائم فأكل أو شرب فليتم صومه فإنما أطعمه الله وسقاه. If somebody forgets while fasting, eats or drinks, and then he should continue his fasting, it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving him food and drink. So his fasting is valid even though he is eating and drinking. Allah Jalla la yu'akhidh ala al-nisyan. رفع هذا عن الأمة. So Allah does not hold him accountable even if he eats everything in the fridge. Regardless, as long as it is not intentional. So al-aklu wal-shurbu al-mufattirat. What breaks the fasting is to eat or drink. Add the word intentional. Intention, you intend. الأكل أو الطعام والشراب يعني مهما كثر لو أكل ناسيا فلا يؤثر في صومه. Is it لا لو كله جديين if he eats 2 goats or 10 goats if he can while forgetting خلاص الله رفع هذا شيء. هتحدها بلقمة بعدين لقمتك غير لقمتي يعني. نعم. طب is it only food? Is it only food? What if somebody is a crazy person, got even as little as a sand, a grain of sand, he swallowed. Does this break the fasting? Yes or no? I'm playing with sand. I just picked 1 grain of sand, the sugar sand of Panama City Beach, and intentionally. That's sand, brother. Does it break the fasting? He's still consuming. It's not going to benefit him, is it? It will break the fast. وصول عين إلى الجوف. Anything that reaches the jawf is the inside of the person intentionally. If it comes there intentionally, قالوا من مخرج أو من منفذ يعني طبيعي, from the normal, not necessarily from the mouth, nose, or even the other way around. If somebody got this اسمها ايه enema, yeah, the enema, if it gets there to the inside the system of the person intentionally, fasting is broken, even if it's one system, even if it's not really food, 1 system, 1 grain of sesame or this chai or chia. We have الإمام الشافعي أشد الناس تشددا في ذلك, لكن الحقيقة بقية الأئمة يعني عندهم توسعة في ذلك, لكن خلي بالك ما يمنعش. نعم. But that does not apply, for example, to the saliva of the person. If you, during the day, swallowing your saliva, nothing wrong with that, unless you get something from outside, anything that's coming. What if something is coming from outside unintentionally? You're just walking in a dusty area and sometimes you feel the dust or the sand in your mouth, and maybe you swallow it without knowing. No problem with that, as long as you don't do it intentionally. Miswak, you may do that, but don't swallow anything. Obviously, don't swallow anything. But Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, السيدة عائشة تقول رأيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يستاك ما لا أحصي صائما. I saw the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, السيدة عائشة said, I saw him using siwak numerous numbers of times while he was fasting. الإمام الشافعي يستحب الإنسان أن يمسك عن التسوق بعد الزوال. Imam Shafi'i said it's recommended to not use the miswak after midday. Why? He said because لَخُلُوفُ فَمِ الصَّائِمِ أَطْيَبُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ رِيحِ الْمِسْكِ. Because the hadith, that changing smell of the mouth of the fasting person is dearer to Allah than musk. So he said, if you use the miswak, that's going to change it. Obviously, this is his own view. If you feel, that's something you can practice, fine. If somebody's working like customer service or he's talking to people. نعم. اللي بيطلع من المعدة ده عنده بقى ارتجاع وعنده مشاكل. نعم. نعم. والمضمضة والاستنشاق while having wudu, you may also get the water inside your mouth and inside your nose. But the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you are fasting, don't do it like vigorously. Outside, it's recommendation from the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, بالغ في المضمضة. Do it extravagantly. If you are not fasting, take the water inside the nose and the nostrils and everywhere, and make sure you wash everything and rinse water the nose and mouth. But if you are fasting, do it, but lightly, not too much, because if you swallow that. What about the eye drops, nose drops, ear drops? All of these are okay unless you feel it in your throat and you swallow. If you feel it many times, you get an eye drops and you might feel it in your throat. Or ear drops, it comes to your throat and you feel something in there, don't swallow it. If you swallow it, that's also, even though it's not food, that's a problem. Any injection is okay, injection or taking out blood. If you take out blood or inject blood, or inject anything, all of that is okay with the exception of the nutritious things. If you inject nutritions to the blood, هذا في حكم الطعام. It's somebody can live for days or maybe for longer than that on nutritions that goes through the blood, which is replacement of food, supplements or anything. So anything as long as it's not nutrition. The food that remains, little details in here, remains between the teeth. Somebody got suhoor, biryani, or meat and strong stuff, and then you have chunks of food there in between your teeth. Obviously, you have to wash your mouth and brush your mouth and everything. But if food is there after Fajr, you cannot swallow. You have to take it out. This is still a food, even though it's between your teeth, but it's not. It doesn't get to the system. Take it. You have to take that out. نعم. ولو أكره على الإفطار, if somebody is forced to break his fasting, that also is still fasting. If somebody, in some cases it could happen. القيء عمدا, what breaks the fasting also, if somebody vomits intentionally, that's food coming out. So that also affects breaks the fasting according to the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If he does it intentionally, but if somebody just throw up, got a problem or anything, he just should make sure that nothing comes out again. Just spit it out completely, comes in again. لا, قالوا لأن الدخان له جرم. It has body in there, and if you condensate it or get it through cotton or something, a lot of it, you get all of this black things in there, right? Somebody made this experiment, and he got a lot of cigarettes, and he was getting the smoke through, I think, a filter or something, and after a while it gets black, all of this tartar or these things, it's in there, the nicotine, so it has certain body, and you take it intentionally. But what if you're in the middle of Cairo, for example, you're gonna smoke intentionally and unintentionally, but in this case it's the car smokes and all of these things, but you don't have any option. Just like we said, if you get a grain of sand intentionally and take it in, تفطر. لكن لو أن إنسان في ريح وكذا, he's walking in the street, a lot of wind and a lot of dust coming in, or somebody's working in a mill, a lot of flour or any food items comes to the mouth, not intentionally, fine, يعفى عن ذلك يعني. لكن if somebody does it intentionally, then this is a problem. وكذلك من المفطرات طبعا الوطء عمدا. If somebody has the nikah or the relationship, which means intercourse, the sexual intercourse, not just kissing. And Nabi Sallallahu used to kiss his wife while fasting. Many scholars said youth, should avoid that because it might lead to something else, to a relationship, full relationship. This is during fasting is going to have kaffara, which is very, we will explain on it a little bit, very tough. That also breaks the fasting. Some scholars also argue, can it happen unintentionally? They said no, it's hard. Few scholars said no, that's hard to happen unintentionally, but some others said maybe first day of Ramadan, second day of Ramadan, the person is still behaving like regular, he doesn't really remember. So that will break the fasting. من المفطرات أيضا الاستمناء, masturbation. That's something that will break the fasting if the self-stimulation until the person ejaculates. That breaks the fasting. وكذلك الحيض والنفاس, if the woman got the menses, got the blood during the day, even though she was fasting, Allah Jalla yajziha, Allah is going to reward her for the part of that day, but she cannot continue fasting, she has to make up for that day. وكذلك الجنون والردة. قائمة طويلة. آداب الصيام ومكروهاته سريعا. لا, الأولى if the woman cannot has some days that she did not make, from last Ramadan, she should try her best to make it before the next Ramadan. But if she cannot, يعني بعض العلماء يجب عليها الكفارة مع القضاء. Some scholars said she still has to make up the missed days as well as كفارة فدية, to feed also as well. But I believe this is something يعني is added while there is no dalil for it. There is no dalil. All she has to do is try her best to do it before the next Ramadan. But if she cannot do that, she can make up for those days after that and repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for delaying that. لأنه لا يعني شيء متعلق بالذمة, لا تبرأ الذمة إلا بنفوذه يعني. خلاص, we can talk about آداب الصيام maybe later inshallah. We'll talk about the manners of fasting and so on, and also the qada Ramadan, what happens to the traveling person, sick person, old person, all of these people, how should they do inshallah if they break their fasting and some other time. Yeah, if somebody is working all day out there in the يعني يعمل في الشمس طوال النهار أو هذه يعني يحتاج إلى ماء بلا شك. فأصحاب كل هذه يعملون في المناجم, so many other jobs that it could be really difficult for them. فهؤلاء يفطرون ويحاولوا ما استطاعوا القضاء. They try their best in the vacation times and other times to make the qada. But if it's continuous work لا يتمكن من القضاء أبدا. يعني that he might go for the fidya, but then even if he does the fidya and later on he was able to make the qada or make up for the missed days, he should do that. Wallahu a'lam. Any questions for what we said? Barakallah. Faddal. Suhoor? That's from the adab al-siyam al-mustahabbat. It's recommended. It's very highly recommended. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam recommended it for us. It's not obligatory or something that you have to do, but it's very highly recommended because this is food that you take it. And the way to do it is to take it as soon as possible before Fajr. The best way. You eat any time during the night with the intention of suhoor, counts as suhoor. But better to make it as soon as possible to Salatul Fajr. Water alone is okay. Anything that you can take just to prepare for fasting is okay, inshallah. جزاكم الله خير.